Welcome back to Banished from Hero Party, anime review episode number 4. This one I'm discussing episodes 8 and 9. Now, I thought basically, based on something I've read online, that apparently Book 2 would take up the rest of the season. No, that's not the case. They actually wrapped up with Book 2 with episode 8, and episode 9 we're kind of into book number 3. Because it's mentioned about snow. That was the reason why. So, at episode 8, which by the way is the most recent episode released dubbed, and so episode 9, I had to switch to sub. Now, as of currently, after watching these two episodes, I have technically 2 more episodes left to go. But after this one, I'm going to be temporarily stopping the anime review for the moment until I read book 3. Once I read book 3, then I'll resume watching the series. Simple as that. Now, what happens in these 2 episodes? Well, excuse me. Well, Ruti basically takes a role in these episodes. Well, she doesn't really appear that much in episode 8. I mean, she appears briefly at the very end when you cut back to Hero Party at the end of the episode where they're basically going off to someplace because stuff related to the events of the episode. Basically, they revealed the name of the drug that's been mentioned over the past previous 2 episodes, called Devil's Blessing, which grants people other blessings. Because this whole thing, the series, is mainly one of the motifs of the series is basically about blessings. And sometimes basically blessings tend to cause people to go freaking crazy. Yes. So Al is taken by Gadon. He is that's the guy's name. He's got this little eye patch. And from what I can tell by his voice, this I can't really have a credit for this guy. He is voiced by Eric. I can tell by his voice, he's voiced by Eric Vale. We also have the second ever appearance in the series of Big Hawk. He's an ogre. Well, actually, more like a big goblin. Who is voiced by Christopher Sabat. He technically appeared also in episode 5, but he also appears in this very episode. Yeah, it's kind of weird though. He appears in the final episode that adapts a particular story arc. Yeah, he appears here, and in the case of what happened to the drug dealer, it was the thief, who actually failed to bring back Rit. You see, this was actually cut out of the anime. See, he was actually brought back to Big Hawk, where he was tied up, and presumably off-screen he was executed. Yes, that's what they show in the manga version of the story, but the anime didn't show it, probably because it would be too graphic. And plus, also the way the manga depicted is that he was digging his fingers in the ground. He had a gag in his mouth, and he was taken away. And that was the last you saw of that thief. In the anime, you just saw him get he got beaten up by Rit, and that was the last you of him. So in the case of this one, where it turns out that the champion had been working with Big Hawk, the champion Albert. He had been working with him. Of course, he basically, when they had this little, you have Al being brought before Big Hawk, where he basically has a pretty good point, where the Divine God is said to give people blessings that basically people don't want, where they live lives they don't want to, they want to live lives peacefully, but instead they're given these blessings. That's according to him. So he brings along the guy who actually attacked Al's parents. Al had been taken by Gadon to him. So he brought Abbott, I think his name is. He brings him to this crowd, was gathered in front of. I believe this is supposed to be the Thieves Guild. Yes, I believe so. So, and basically, Big Hawk gives him a sword executed, basically a short sword, and despite the fact that he had killed him, he basically sets him free because he was on a drug at the time. Yes, because he was on a drug. So lucky enough that Red is there to free them, and of course he gets away. Albert chases them. This is of course the champion Albert who chases them, and it turns out Big Hawk, he is not in control of his own actions. Nope, he is possessed by a goat demon. No, seriously, he is possessed by a goat demon. Apparently Big Hawk's basically his goal was to become the king of Zeon. and transform this small town into a military base. That is seriously his plan. Also, he wants to kill the Demon Lord, which I'm like, okay, that's a hero's job, not the job of a ruling power. Yes, seriously, that is the thing is. So yeah, Red takes on Albert, and luckily enough that the head of the guild shows up to arrest Albert after Red swiftly defeats him, also chops off his hand, his sword hand, and taken to prison. Yep, he's taken straight to prison. Apparently, he also wanted to join the Heroes Party. He had no desire to stay Zeon. He just happily here. There was also this guy working with Rit. I don't remember his name. It's some blonde hair guy. Excuse me. Let's see if I can find his name here. Booty, I think his name is, yes. So after, of course, he's heading off to prison, where in the case of Big Hawk, that the demon who possessing him, which they reveal is a giant goat demon, so he basically frees him by breaking his contract. And apparently this other guy named Booty, who apparently doesn't know his real name, who apparently this demon knew his real name, so breaks contract with Big Hawk, and then goes to free Albert, taking him directly to the hero. Yep, takes him directly to the hero. Offers her the Devil's Blessing drop because to basically take away her blessing, probably because she didn't want it. And then she decides to take Tessa and the airship to fly straight to Zeon. That's how the episode ends. Now, the end of the episode, from what I remember from the book 2, that does correspond with the end of the book. And I thought as though that, based on the information I read, that the rest of the season will cover book 2. Nope. Episode 9 starts after book 3. So I decided, though, after watching the episode, I'm just going to stop here and basically wait to read book 3 before I continue watching the series. But with this episode, oh, by the way, in the case of Red, we also have this thing where Albert's staying with him, where he finally gets the twin bed that he wanted with Rit, and it seems as though they're about to get, let's say, they're about to have some interesting adult time. But they have to stop because Albert's walking by. And then later on, they get that kind of like that in the bath. When they finally get the bath at the end of that episode. So they get the bed and the bath this very same episode. So they've been teasing for 7 episodes they wanted to do. And of course, he does tell her that he loves her, which is actually quite good, the fact he does that. Yep. And of course, for the next episode, they note that the town has become with snow. It only lasts for a brief bit. And also, like, basically he started taking out hand warmers. Yes, hand warmers. I'll get back to Rit well, she flies off. She arrives in Zeon. She lands the airship outside of town. Decides to beat up some goblins for a sword. Then she takes out a knight blocking a bridge. And of course, Red does the same thing too with the very same exact guy. So, apparently she kills some creature outside of town. And she's really strong. Probably because of the super strength that is granted to the hero. So, they go straight into town. They get, of course, they said they get in. And of course, you have Tessa meeting Red for the first time ever in the series. Meet the guy who she replaced in the Heroes Party. Then, of course, Tessa mentions to Rit about Ruti, well, this guy, which she doesn't know this guy that she's meeting is actually her boss's brother. She has no idea. And then she breaks the drug dealer, the guy who created the drug, out of prison, and would make more of the drug, because apparently I think she's getting addicted because she just swallowed a whole bunch of bag of this stuff. Oh, and the goat demon, he's knocked out. What happened to Albert is not exactly explained. It's like when you have Tedora, when she goes back to the tent to check on where the Ruti's tent, apparently the goat demon is there, but Albert is nowhere to be seen. Like, what the heck happened to him? No idea. Oh, by the way, he's actually stripped of his role as the Big Rig Adventurer because he basically made contact with a demon. Yep. So, then we have basically, like, after the hand warmers are basically purged by Buddy, you got more hand warmers, and then we have routine arrive from the apothecary, where Tessa sees Gideon, aka Red, and of course then Ruti sees him, and then she basically goes to hug her brother because she had not seen him in quite some time. That's where the episode ends. Quite an interesting 2 episodes of the series, and I'm definitely looking forward to reviewing the last episode officially aired for the series. But I want to read book 3 first before I get a chance to continue reading this. Well, watch this anime. Okay, so that's it for particular review. Stay tuned for my next review, which is going to be 2 manga reviews and then my 4 anime today. Next one is going to be My Hero Academia. Okay? Next video. Bye.